This week on 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank, the high-flying Richmond basketball star and his rise to prominence. And talk about high-flying, we'll meet the Fremont motocross champion and his support for his dad.
We'll also have the San Francisco weightlifter on her way to international fame, and the Hayward lineman doing all he can to set himself up for success. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We begin tonight heading to the hills with a motocross rider who's flying to success.
Brandon Ray, better known as B-Ray, is a charismatic, hardworking moto man whose daredevil mentality goes well with his compassion for his father. Brandon Ray is happiest when he's on a bike flying through the air. This high school senior is having a great success, but it's been a rocky road to get here.
I was training at Club Moto MX, and my bike blew up, and we didn't have the money to fix it. And I put something on my Instagram, like, hey, can anyone help me out? Like, anything will help. And they got a hold of me, JMC Motorsports, and they said, hey, we'll bring a bike to you to Loretta's, that big race, and we'll help you out. So it's cool.
The commitment from JMC Motorsports changed Brandon's life, a life full of tough times up to that point. Brandon and his dad struggled to find the money to pay for this very expensive sport. With his mom out of the picture, his dad was B-Ray's sole supporter. Then when his dad was hurt in an accident, the money was even tighter.
Yeah, he raced all the way up until 1996 when he got in an accident on the freeway on his Harley, and that ended his whole riding career. But every now and then I'll get him to jump on one of my bikes and go out there and ride with me. It's awesome. I love riding with him.
Well, I got in a bad accident in '96, put it into my riding days. I hit a bandit car on the freeway. Through that, I became diabetic. I lost the bone out of the big toe, and lost all my balance when that happened.
So Brandon became a caregiver as a boy, along with his school and riding. So that day when his engine blew up was devastating. But B-Ray's supporters on social media got the word out, and then came the call that changed everything.
Yeah, it was crazy. Me and my dad were in his room, and I was sitting on his bed, and he was laying down, and because we got a text I got a DM from them saying they're gonna call me at they didn't even say a time. They said they're just gonna call me, and they called me at 10:30 at night. The owner of the team, Joel, and me and my dad just started crying.
Been in the hunt every single race he's been in. There's always something that goes wrong. Every rider has one bad moto, but overall he's been top 3 consistently, and we're on track for lots of championships moving forward.
Brandon started on a motorcycle when he was just 3 years old. He knew even as a young boy, this is exactly what he wanted to do.
When I was 5 years old, we were walking across our lawn, and I used to watch a bunch of motorcycle videos and stuff like that, people racing. And I told him, I'm man, I want to race. And when he heard that, he told me later on that was music to his ears, and just been doing that ever since.
So as a 5-year-old, B-Ray started to race and has improved all along the way. Now with the professional racing team, B-Ray has taken his natural ability to the next level.
He's very naturally talented on the bike. He's only had maybe 20 days combined of professional training, and he still goes really fast compared to most people that have had years of training.
When I first started out with the team, everything, I won a bunch of races and stuff like that. Then I kind of went on a downhill a little bit, and I started having a lot of bad races and stuff like that, and we're just getting over that. In the past 2 months, I've won 5 championships, which is good, and we're just heading in the right direction. We need to keep going that way.
B-Ray is fearless on the track and looks forward to joining the pro race circuit in the next couple of years. To get there will take a huge amount of work, commitment, and focus. Through it all, B-Ray and his dad are very close and excited about the future.
I mean, yeah, he's still my everything, and You know, he's always been there and always will be, no matter who's, like, you know, I'm riding for, but he'll always be my key sponsor and my key support.
And my son comes in the room and he says, look at the kid he is. He goes, Poppy. I woke up, just me and him at home. He goes, I put a load in the dryer. I put a load in the wash machine. I changed your bandages. And Poppy, I love you. I'm glad you ran off to school because I don't want my kid to see me cry like that, you know.
Brandon Ray is committed to his dad and to his sport. And now with the sponsor adding its support, B-Ray has what he needs to make it to the top. B-Ray is traveling much of the year, going from one race to another. His sponsor says B-Ray is about a year away from joining the pro circuit, where this fun sport becomes a business and a job, but he is really, really good and a terrific guy, and just wonderful that he takes care of his dad.
Yeah, and you were running up those hills getting those shots. How was that?
It was fun, and I was not riding the motorcycle, and that was
This
smart.
job keeps you young.
It does. It does. It keeps me in shape.
Okay. All right, Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
This week we feature the Bishop O'Dowd Dragons. Coming up, the talented basketball star from De Anza High School and the loss of his best friend.
And later, to the ice for the story of an unlikely hockey star.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
One, two, three.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHOPE. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.dhcs.ca.gov. CalHOPE, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
Welcome back to Levi Stadium and the NBC Sports Studio. Adobe each week brings us stories of athletes performing at their peak.
Danielle Podlosky joins us with the story of a East Bay basketball star who's going through a tough time.
Aubrey, De Anza's Bryce Bashan Jr. lost his best friend Jamarie Frazier last year in a tragic shooting. As Bryce chases his dreams of playing college basketball, he is using Jamarie as motivation. From the moment he steps onto the De Anza basketball court, Broyce Bashon Jr. is a difference maker. As a sophomore last season, Broyce led the Dons to a North Coast Section Division II title. While winning is the goal, for Broyce, basketball is about much more than results. It's a way for him to honor his best friend. Broyce and Jamarie Frazier, known as J-Mac, were inseparable ever since the day they met in 7th grade.
We called each other brothers, but we wasn't really brothers. It was just that bond was there. He went to school across the street from the house, so he would come over and he would take my sister to school, and he was just over every day. We were all bonded and like have fun together.
Broyce and Jamarie played on the same AAU basketball team, where J-Mac was given another nickname, Magic after Magic Johnson.
He played like nobody else. We called him Magic because he was big. He made plays that nobody else can make. He seen things that nobody else seen. He was crafty with the ball. He had the flashy passing package that Magic had. He wore the number 32, so it was only right to call him Magic.
J-Mac played basketball at Richmond High School. In November 2019, he was planning to transfer to De Anza to finish out his senior year alongside Broyce. But on November 26th, the night before his transfer papers were set to officially go through, J-Mac was shot and killed.
It really didn't hit me until I seen his family crying, and it was very emotional for me, and I really haven't cried. I really don't cry like that, so it was like, it's bad when I was letting it all out, and it was bad. I really haven't lost nobody like that, so.
It's an extremely difficult time for Broyce and the entire De Anza team. Broyce is determined to help his teammates get through it.
Some teammates weren't handling very well, and I think Broyce stepped up as a leader to help support them, and some students were handling it better than others, and so, he made sure that he went to those players in games and can kind of gauge and test the water and see how people were feeling before and after games. And I think he took a very mature approach about his own workouts. As an adult, we seem to have a better ability to understand things and, kind of make sense of things that happen in the world. But for a sophomore and the age that he was, he really showed a great amount of maturity.
J-Mac is still very much a part of the De Anza basketball program, and now a part of Broyce's pregame routine.
I listened to YoungBoy, which was his favorite rapper and his idol, basically. He loved YoungBoy, and I wore a bracelet every game, and I had to take it off, obviously, because of refs, but every time I took it off, I thought of him, and I looked at it, and it was there.
When the team is struggling, the Dons go into Magic mode.
Magic mode is a team and a player call. They huddle up and decide, look, we've been told what plays to run, we've been told what needs to be done. There's just been a lack of focus, and that's what we need to do.
If we was losing or something, if we was not focused, he would say Magic mode, tap in, what are y'all doing? For him, he would want us to be getting better and winning the game, because he was a great leader, and that's what Magic mode was.
Broyce learned some important life lessons from J-Mac's sudden passing.
It made me realize that life can be short, and take every day like it's your last, and that's how I work now. That's literally how I think about things and go about it, and just take everything, don't take nothing for granted.
Broyce is motivated more than ever to play basketball in college, something J-Mac dreamed of.
I've been grinding for it my whole life, and he had a huge impact. We used to go work out every day, and I just want to get big for his family and get through college. And I know he will want it for me, and my family will want it for me too.
Broyce is a powerful player with high-flying dunks lighting up his social media. He's currently talking to about 20 different schools and has a Division I offer from Portland State.
I definitely think he's a Division I, definitely professional level athlete. He wants to team with a younger, newer coach at a Pac-10, 12 school or a California school that hasn't won in a while and build it from the bottom. I mean, those are his goals. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for somebody who doesn't kind of follow everyone else and follow the bandwagon and follow trends. And I think that it'd be an asset to any program, definitely.
Not a day goes by where Broyce doesn't think of his good friend.
It's crazy. I literally looked at the photos every day almost. It's like, it's in my photo roll. I literally had him as a home screen. He's on my wall. It's like, it makes me reminisce about like the nights that we had. It was a lot of memories.
But Broyce will make sure to bring a little magic mode to wherever he ends up playing in college.
Broyce is looking forward to getting back out on the court this season. And with those dunks, I'm sure he'll be grabbing a lot more attention from colleges.
He is a high flyer. All right, thanks, Danielle. Excellent play. All right, each week, Lexus of Stevens Creek presents the Volunteer Award, part of the Lexus of Stevens Creek commitment to promoting volunteer work.
This week's Volunteer Award goes to Julia Hicks from San Benito High School. Julia is a 4th-degree black belt. She volunteers at a rehabilitation center for women with alcohol and drug addiction. She uses her martial arts skills to teach self-defense to women at the center. Julia is very passionate about her volunteer work.
I love helping people. Like, it's what brings me joy in life, is like passing on my passion for martial arts, especially at such like a low point in those ladies' lives. You know, building from literally the ground up is what they're doing. And I think me just kind of bringing just a little bit of, you know, what I love to do into other people's lives, it like is like another accomplishment.
Coming up, the Hayward lineman doing all he can to get ready for this season.
And the heartbreak of sudden cardiac arrest, what you can do to prevent it. 49ers Cal High Sports will be right back.
People is asking me what I got on. They be like, hey Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches' polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the food you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
We're the De La Salle Spartans. And this is the 49ers Cal High Sport Report.
Each week, U.S. Bank helps us bring you stories of inspirational athletes who amaze us.
We're about a month away from what the CIF says will be the start of the football season. Messiah Moye from Hayward High School is doing all he can to be prepared for that December 14th start date. But then again, Messiah always goes above and beyond when it comes to setting himself up for success. Messiah Moye wakes up every day with a purpose, a goal he is determined to reach.
I want to go to the next level and play college ball.
Messiah is a 5'10", 250-pound center at Hayward High School with an unbelievable work ethic.
Starting this quarantine, I broke my hand. I was just sitting there and I was behind. Everybody was working, I was behind. So then what I would do is I write a goal on my wall with paper, and then when I think I passed that goal, when I believe in myself that I can do it, I rip it down and throw it away, and I write something else. And that goal, if I think I could do it and know I could do it later on, I throw it away.
The Hayward football program is still completely shut down. Aside from participating in camps like this one, Messiah has very little access to a football field, workout equipment, things some other athletes and their families can afford. So with his goals in mind, it's on Messiah to make moves.
Chest up, hands up.
After distance learning, Messiah will Uber to his coach's house so he can have access to a home gym.
That's why I love football, because it's fun, but then it's like you gotta love to work. You gotta love to do this, even though you don't want to. Like, even though I don't want to run these gassers, I still gotta love them. Even though I don't want to do these weights, I gotta love them, because that's what makes me who I am, and I gotta work every day. And that's even without football. The work ethic. If you want to be successful, you gotta work.
Messiah takes that same mindset into the classroom. Before practice, he and a friend would commute 20 miles north to Berkeley to take additional classes.
His freshman year, he used to say, "Coach, I'll be late to practice." Like, "Where are you at?" "I'm at UC Berkeley in this camp." I'm like, "All right, you have football right now. How are you gonna balance this?" And sure enough, he wasn't late. He's running in full pads.
I was taking early classes, so I was going into sophomore year. So I was taking sophomore classes so I could be ahead and everything for school. Me and my friend Ruben, we have to take BART right after.
Bus to BART, BART to bus, walking miles. And you know this kid is really special if he's really committed to actually doing this.
So, what is it that motivates Messiah?
I truly believe his father has a lot to do with it.
When Messiah was 9 years old, his dad lost a 5-year battle with colon cancer.
After my dad passed, 2 months later, my uncle passed from the same cancer. And after that, my grandpa died too, on my dad's side. So I had to learn, like, it's gonna happen. So I had to just man up and just take it. Because if I wouldn't, I would let it affect me in the long run. And I wouldn't be able to focus on my goals and things I want to do.
I know it affected him in a great way, just to see his father basically deteriorate almost. Because when he started coming back with me, I think he was only back with me for 4 to 5 days before his father passed.
Well, it was tough. Like, when I being that age, I had to go through it. I don't let it affect me in a bad way. I let it motivate me to keep me pushing, so yeah. So when I was younger, it affected me. I cried a lot, I got mad a lot, but then when I got older, I started to see, like, God doing this for a reason, and it's just my path that he's putting me through.
Messiah stepped up big time, and it was like he didn't even miss a beat. You knew something was up with him, but for the most part, he challenged himself, and he accepted that challenge as far as stepping in to help his mom through faith and through his perseverance. He's coachable, caring, he's about family.
Oh, they play a big role. They're my motivation. Every day I wake up, it's like, oh, I gotta do it for them. And it's just not only I'm doing it for myself, but I'm doing it for them also. I know football is not my only resort. I'm gonna put the same effort in football as I do in the book so I could be somebody. I'm not gonna let myself fail.
He honors his mom and his siblings, by the way he plays and the way he carries himself, being a young role model for his family.
I know once he sets a goal, he's determined to reach that goal, whatever it takes.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That's hard to say, but I see myself working hard. That's all I can say, because I don't know what God's gonna put in front of me. Whatever he guides me or wherever he goes, and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna work hard at it. No matter if football or without football, I'm just gonna work no matter what it takes.
Now, I say this about most athletes I meet, but Messiah is truly a special kid. I got to spend nearly an entire day with him, and he just puts in so much work on the field and in the classroom, and it does not go unnoticed.
Yeah, it's great to see that kind of dedication. All right, very good. Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here's Kellyanne Lim from Sobrato High School talking about her favorite teacher, Howard Barnes.
My favorite teacher was probably my AP World History teacher, Mr. Barnes. And I think he was my favorite because I liked history, first of all, and he really made class interesting by the way he formatted it and explained and gave lectures. And I feel like I learned a lot in his class.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job in the classroom.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor. Those scholarships to be presented at our end of the season awards banquet in June.
Coming up, the amazing strength of the San Francisco weightlifter.
And later, the regular season game from our E-Game tournament, 49ers Cal High Sports, will return in a moment.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
master class in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagera, specializing in custom loans for unique homes. His team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikes Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Serena Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Serena Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
We're back at Levi Stadium with this week's DGDG.com feature athlete.
Allie Williams joins us now with the story of a weightlifter performing on the world stage.
Robert, weightlifting is a sport you don't hear about every day, but the precision, effort, and excitement is something Haley Tran hopes to share with us all.
Hard work does pay off. You have to trust the process, and eventually everything will come together.
Haley Tran is a junior at Lincoln High in San Francisco and an up-and-coming star in the weightlifting world. She holds multiple American records already. She was introduced to weightlifting by her friend Julia.
So I met Haley through volleyball. We played on the same club team, and I had just started weightlifting competitively.
I didn't even know that weightlifting was a sport, like Olympic weightlifting. I was like, oh, like benching. And then when I saw these videos of her doing snatches and clean and jerks, I was like, what is that? And it was cool.
Julia is also a top-ranked weightlifter, and the girls have trained together for years.
I've been to Youth Worlds and Youth Pan Ams, and Haley and I went to this meet in Peru in 2017.
That trip to Peru was huge for Haley. It took her from having fun to setting records.
When she got a chance to go to Peru, and we were all over it. When her and Julia got a chance to go to Peru, it changed.
It was super fun. All of us medaled.
She got to set American records in Peru, and then I think she set it again a week later in Anaheim before the World Championships.
It was insane. It was nice. That's when I started to love the sport even more.
Haley set American records in the snatch and clean and jerk in what was then the 13 and under 53 kilogram weight class. Then, 2 years later, she set the American record for the snatch in the 14 to 15-year-old 59 kilogram class. She used to train with Julia and other members of her team daily before COVID shut everything down. Now, training has been limited to primarily individual workouts, stifling the energy that would help push them through their sets.
There's a good vibe with both of them. It's missing for the last 7 months. It's a little bit heartbreaking because COVID's been tough when you don't see your friends. They're social creatures, you know.
I can't train with other people, or like I can, but the same community is not there, and I have to train through Zoom sometimes, and it's totally different. It's not the same. Because having your coach not physically there, it kind of affects you.
Haley trains at Coach Kevin's house a couple times per month, but the majority of their training is through Zoom and video updates. The sudden shift was tough, but something that Haley was able to handle.
So the one good thing about COVID is you see who's very self-motivated. Because at some point, if you're trying to get to the highest level of any sport, you got to do stuff on your own. That is what makes her different than most other people, is that she has that intrinsic inner discipline to do something for herself, by herself, in her garage.
I have to remember why I started, and I can't just stop the journey right now just because of one little obstacle.
Haley is currently training for the National Youth Championships, where she will compete in the under-17 64-kilogram weight class.
She doesn't win every meet, but she's top 3 in every meet ever that we've ever gone to in her age group. And the one thing about Youth Worlds not happening this year in Youth Pan Am, she would have been top 3.
Haley continues to build a name for herself in the weightlifting world. There are plenty of goals on the horizon, competitions, more records, and even the Olympics. But she'll move forward with the clear mentality of 1 kilo at a time.
It's like a math problem. You're trying to get 1 kilo better, right? So right now, the American record in her weight class is a standard. Nobody's ever met it. It's 108 kilos in the clean and jerk. And the standard happens to be, 44 kilos over her body weight. So you're talking about 180% of body weight clean and jerk for a 17-year-old girl. But you tell me she has 15 months to get 5 kilos better, I'm gonna bet on her every single time.
Haley plans to keep weightlifting for years to come, but weightlifting options are limited after high school.
A lot of colleges, they don't offer weightlifting, like scholarships, so we'll see.
Do you think that more colleges should?
Yes, it's an amazing sport. I don't think a lot of people know about it because of how hard and technical it is, so it doesn't get more attention it deserves. It's given me like a new view of things, like motivation-wise, and like how do I keep myself motivated through these tough times.
The future is always uncertain, but Haley keeps the mindset of 1 step and 1 kilo at a time. As she's already proven time and time again, Haley will find a way. That 1 kilo at a time mentality is something that helps Haley keep pushing forward. And it was great to listen to Haley and Coach Kevin break down the mindset so simply during my time with them.
So she's this tough weightlifter person, so does that mean like in person she was really mean and stuff?
Oh, always. No, the exact opposite of, that tough mentality. It's great to be able to see the difference between turning it on once you get at the weights.
Wow.
Yeah, very nice, friendly person. All right, thanks, Allie. Coming up, teenagers struck down with a preventable heart episode. What you can do to prevent that next.
And later, from Mexico to the hockey rink, how it happened for Johan Jimenez later in the show. We are back at Levi Stadium with some good information that could save your life.
Aubrey, sudden cardiac arrest is something not normally associated with young athletes, but these heart problems kill thousands of teenage athletes every year. Kyle Sarmento was a starter on the Lee varsity soccer team. Just months after his graduation, Kyle was gone.
In February of 2018, was going to school at West Valley College, was, being a normal 18-year-old young man, doing the things that he loved to do, surfing and snowboarding, playing sports, that kind of thing. February 22nd, he went to classes that day nothing out of the ordinary that day. Came home, raided our refrigerator like he always liked to do, and decided he was going to go to a friend's house in Santa Cruz and was going to stay the night there and play some video games. And walked out the door, and that was, the last conversation I had with him was he said, I love you, Mom, and walked out the door. And later that night I got a phone call from his friend saying that they found him unconscious and not breathing.
Kyle suffered from sudden cardiac arrest. His heart had given up. There were no symptoms, no sign his heart was anything but perfectly healthy.
Sudden cardiac arrest is when it's a condition where the heart suddenly and unexpectedly stops beating. If this happens, blood stops flowing to the brain and the rest of the vital organs. And if not treated immediately, sudden cardiac arrest can lead to death.
Sudden cardiac arrest can be prevented with a simple screening.
To find out that easy, screening could have easily detected something in Kyle that could have saved his life, pushes me and my husband and my daughter every day to do what we're doing.
What they're doing is spreading the word to parents about getting your child screened.
Well, we'd just like to see that they get their heart screened, and what that means is doing an EKG or an echocardiogram on them, because the issues that cause cardiac arrest in youth is missed with a stethoscope, because the issues that cause cardiac arrest can't be heard through a stethoscope. They have to be seen by an EKG or an echocardiogram.
Max Broberg was a junior pitcher on the Lee varsity team when he heard about Kyle's death. He says he had some occasional heart pain but had never been screened. Max decided to get a screen, a decision that likely saved his life.
So then I ended up booking a visit with my cardiologist, and they found out I had a couple heart defects. I had SVT, and I had a hole in my heart too. So we had to patch up the hole, and then they found out the SVT about a month after we patched up the hole. So then we got on new medication. So far it hasn't triggered it, so it's been quiet since then.
Sudden cardiac arrest typically shows up 3 different ways in young people.
The first category would be electrical heart disease or any heart rhythm problems. So heartbeats, so things like arrhythmias. The heart beats regularly, it beats too fast, it beats too slow. The second category would be structural heart disease of the heart muscle or of the arteries that supply blood to the heart. So one that people have heard about is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and that falls into that category where the heart wall becomes thickened and it really obstructs blood flow out of the heart. And then the third category that we see in children and adolescents is situational causes. There's a sudden blow to the chest, there's an infection of the heart muscle, sometimes recreational drug use can cause this. And so these are the 3 bigger categories that your physician will be checking for.
The toughest part for Jennifer and her family was not knowing anything about sudden cardiac arrest, not knowing it can be prevented.
Losing a child is not something a parent ever thinks they're going to go through. And when this happened to Kyle, it's very isolating and a lonely feeling, because it's not something everybody experiences, and it's a grief that you can't explain to anybody. But when we found out it was cardiac arrest and I didn't know of anybody that this had happened to, it makes you feel even more lonely and isolated. Even if you're surrounded by people, you just feel very alone.
Jennifer has started the Kyle J. Taylor Foundation to get the word out about sudden cardiac arrest and provide free screenings, all to honor her son and keep other families from feeling their grief.
It's amazing. It's a blessing to be living every day. I mean, stuff that happened to Kyle, it's just anything can happen out of the blue tomorrow, so you just really have to be blessed to be living today and just take it one day at a time.
So Aubrey, doctors are recommending that all athletes get this type of heart screening that we talked about in the story to make sure your heart is healthy before you start competing.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, those tests were already kind of on the up. We were all taking them.
Yeah,
as a part of a physical.
And still not all schools have defibrillators, not all schools require these kind of tests. They really need to be required.
Definitely. I think it's getting better. It's going to we're going to get there.
Yep.
Well, it's Deja Vu. Each week, Clover Dairy brings us athletes who are grazing their way through professional ranks. This week, we feature Kiko Alonso from Los Gatos High School.
Kiko was a beast at linebacker for the Wildcats back in 2007. He was named our Defensive Player of the Year that year. Kiko then played his college ball at Oregon before being chosen by the Buffalo Bills in the NFL draft.
Just last week, Kiko came home in a trade bringing him to Levi Stadium to play right here for the 49ers. We're excited to have him. Coming up, game action from our Madden e-game tournament next.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHOPE. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.dhcs.ca.gov. CalHOPE, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley.
Our e-game tournament continues this week with the regular season heating up.
Regular season now coming to a head. Here's action from this week's big game.
All right, so my name is Darius Saunders. I go to Valley Christian High School. I'm a senior. I'm going to be playing with the Ravens, but in real life, I play linebacker, corner, running back. I play anything. Right now, in the regular season, I'm undefeated. I'm 4-0. Preseason, I went, I think, 3-1 or 2-1. I had one loss, which was to him right here.
I go to Skyline High School, and I'm playing with the Chiefs. I'm just good. I'm good everywhere. I'm just the go, you feel me? Ain't nobody, I feel nobody better than me.
Look, I think I'm going to win this game just because I know I'm the better player, and he ain't nothing. So we'll see how this goes. Ooh, oh, my God. Come on.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. On play action.
Bro, I have two people in the zone, bro. I'm like that. Bro, what is this? I hate this game, bro. It's so hope I can't with this, bro.
That defense too locked down.
Throwing again on second down.
It was big. I thought it was gonna be. It was tough. All right, that was a interesting game. It was pretty close. We fought pretty good. You know, he thinks he's good, and his defense was fun, but it was too easy to go against him. It's just unlucky stuff happened in the red zone once I got there. So
all these excuses, boy, come on. We played twice and you having excuses both games. How many times we played?
Once again, how many times did the game finesse me?
How many times have you beat me?
900 times.
I got 100% win percentage versus you.
Follow UGL on social media and subscribe to UGL World_TV on Twitch to view the full game.
The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Awards each week. This week we honor Lincoln of San Francisco weightlifter Haley Trin. We met Haley earlier in the show. She does some heavy lifting in the classroom as well with an impressive 4.3 GPA.
She's got it all. Brought to you by the Harker School. On-campus remote learning began for middle school students in early November as a total of 14 students following safety guidelines spent their day learning outdoors in the campus quad. Happy to be among their friends and teachers once again. At Harker, transitional kindergarten through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org.
Be sure to check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including videos, news updates, and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High Sports everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're everywhere there too, to get updates on when new videos are posted every week. Coming up, from Mexico to the ice rink in San Jose, the very improbable journey of this Valley Christian skater.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by Devcon Construction, build, design, perform, sustain.
We are back at Levi Stadium with our final feature story this week. It's brought to you by Service by Medallion.
Danielle Podlaski rejoins us now with the story of a hockey player from San Jose.
Robert, Valley Christian's Johan Jimenez is seeing a lot of changes in his life. The past year, Johan moved to a new country, started new classes at a new school, and even picked up a new sport. Valley Christian senior Johan Jimenez is not your typical high school hockey player. Unlike his teammates, Johan picked up the sport just 1 year ago. Johan's journey to the ice began south of the border. Johan was born and raised in Mexicali, Mexico. In August 2018, he attended a mission trip in Ensenada, Mexico, joining a group of Valley Christian students, including Grace Kennedy.
We're running a vocational Bible study for the community of Loma Bonita through the church that we were working with, and we also ran feeding programs for the community so that they could come and get lunch and eat.
Johan had an instant connection with the group and dreamed of becoming a student at Valley Christian with his new friends.
I really enjoyed being with the team. Throughout the week I spent time knowing them individually, and it was really cool. It was probably an experience I felt little times or none at all before that.
Johan applied to Valley Christian and was accepted, but he couldn't afford the tuition. That's when the Valley Christian students he met just a short time before stepped up and helped raise the money to bring Johan to San Jose.
My friends and I worked to raise money. We did bake sales after school. A couple of friends sold jewelry that they made. I talked to all the friends and family that I knew, and I asked them to help. Instead of giving me a birthday present, can you donate to him? I told them all his story and just asked them to come alongside us and help make this possible for him.
1 year later, Johan arrived in San Jose and moved in with Grace's family.
It was really cool to have someone in the house, almost like a brother. And obviously we were both busy with school, and he was skating and I had to play a sport too, so it was busy, but it was really cool to just have someone to watch Netflix with at night or chat with on the way home from football games and just hang out. We boogie boarded at the beach when we went to the beach as a family. It was just awesome. It felt like having a brother that I never had.
Johan started classes at Valley Christian 2 weeks later. After attending the school's annual club day, Johan decided to try out for the hockey team after only having ice skated a few times in his life.
I was skated at Holiday Ice, and at one point I just thought this is too easy. And I have a handful of Canadian friends, so I just thought, oh, maybe I'll play hockey.
The team invited Johan to its evaluation skate to check out his skills.
He came on the ice and I thought, okay, he could skate for sure. He's going to need a little bit of help. We worked with him and I made a commitment to him. I said, look, if you want to continue to be a part of the program, we'd love to have you. But you should start just practicing with our team first, because I think he had even admitted that kids were flying past him, right? We have kids that have been playing since they were 2 or 3.
Johan's first practice was a memorable one.
First practice was kind of rough. My body got sore in the first 30 minutes.
But Johan loved being on the ice and decided to stick with it.
He fell down a couple times. He accidentally bumped into some players, which fell down. But the minute I saw the smile on his face afterwards, that he was beaming, right? The fact that I think he even surprised himself a little bit, that I'm not surprised he said he was going to start as a practice player and then continue to progress throughout the year.
Johan's skills in skating improved each practice. He got so good, he earned the chance to play in a game.
It was really cool. It was kind of toward the end of the season, but I guess I improved enough so that the coach considered me for the JV division.
He actually practiced as hard as anybody throughout every week. It was probably his favorite part of the week. And he improved tremendously. So it got to the point where he improved so much and committed to and held up his end of the bargain that we thought it made sense to put him into some JV games towards the end of the season.
While Johan is still learning some aspects of the sport, he hopes to take the ice for a varsity game this upcoming season.
I wouldn't count him out of it, that's for sure. He's a guy I wouldn't bet against. If he continues to practice, works hard, and gets used to the speed of the game, and learns the game a little bit more of all the rules, and I could see it happening.
Johan plans on going to college in the United States or Canada next year. The college he attends depends on if the school has some type of hockey program.
90% of my college options include hockey in them, so I definitely want to keep doing this.
Johan came to the United States in August 2019. 15 short months later, he is proud to call himself a San Jose resident, a Valley Christian senior, and last but certainly not least, a hockey player. While Johan is living with a different host family this school year, he remains extremely close with Grace and her family. The Kennedys are looking forward to cheering Johan on at his hockey games this upcoming season.
So I imagine not a lot of hockey in Mexico?
He's only been skating just a few times before this.
Yeah, so he'll get better.
He's already gotten really good, but yeah, he's going to get a lot better.
Yeah, terrific. Great to have him in this country.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, we'll show you some of the stories we'll be airing on next week's show.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Rika Center.
I'm Andrew Havili, and today's training tip is a barbell pull and high pull. These exercises are your foundations for your cleans, your snatches, all your Olympic lifts. So Ben's going to load up with his hips back, feet flat, and from there he's going to come up onto his toes in a triple extension. But now he's going to go fast with it, and this is the pull part. Good, again. If he wants to do a high pull now, he'll do the same thing, but now drive his elbows up as he goes. Go ahead. The power should be coming from your hip extension. This is a barbell pull and high pull.
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Next week, we'll meet a San Francisco fencer and see how she succeeds in the beautiful sport, and a top junior football player in all of California, and we'll meet even more amazing athletes. That's all on next week's show. Don't forget to tune in. We'll see you then.